Narshada, also known as the Smuggler's Moon. The perfect place to hide out if you're hiding from the Empire. After escaping Naboo, Han Solo and Chewbacca made their way here. Since Narshada is controlled by the Hutts, the Empire won't come near it. It is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Unfortunately for Han, he joined the Empire to hide from scum and villainy. And now he's back to square one. Han says to Chewbacca, "Why don't you go check out that job we overheard those guys talking about? I'll finish up here and then come join ya." As Han sits by himself, he contemplates what he's about to do. Having been raised by a Wookie, Han Solo knows the importance of a Wookie life debt. But after witnessing Luana give her life for his, Han Solo swore to himself that he wouldn't allow another being to die for his actions. Han convinces himself that Chewbacca will get over his honor thing and realize this is best for both of them. Chewbacca goes back to the table to retrieve Han, but he can't find Han anywhere. Unfortunately, someone found Han. A voice from behind a blaster says, "Hello there, Solo. There's a pretty big bounty on your head." Then Han hears a female voice behind him. "We're gonna take you back to Corellia. The bounty says dead or alive, but we'll leave that part up to you." As the bounty hunters start to leave with Han, they hear a frightening growl coming from right behind them. Chewbacca wastes no time. He dispatches with all three of the bounty hunters so quickly and violently that when he's finished, the crowd of onlookers dispersed immediately and ran away in fear. And then Chewbacca turned on Han Solo, screaming at him that a life debt isn't Han's to throw away, and reminding Han once again that until that life debt is paid, Chewbacca will be at his side. Most people would see the advantages of having a Wookiee bodyguard, but all Han sees is another Wookiee he's going to get killed. But he also realizes there's no use arguing. Han says to Chewie, "Alright already. I won't try that again. What did you find out about that job?" Han and Chewie acquire a transport and head to a rendezvous where a possible job is waiting for them. But with all the excitement of the day, they don't see a familiar face watching them from a distance. As Han and Chewie drive off, Moloch says, "Go make sure Beckett is ready and tell him that you'll be joining the crew as well. I want you to keep Solo on a short leash. You'll be the only one who'll be able to convince him to go on this suicide mission." Kira responds, "He won't trust me. Not after the last time I saw him. Besides, why don't we get it over with and just kill him, and then hire someone else to make the Kessel run? Moloch answers, "It's a win-win situation for me. If he fails, he dies, and I win. If he succeeds, then I get rich, and then I kill him. And that's winning twice." Chewbacca leads Han Solo into another shady bar. That's somehow even shadier than the last one. After a few minutes of looking around, Chewie points to a man Han Solo immediately recognizes as a Corellian, which gives Han a bad feeling. With the Imperial lockdown of Corellia, there aren't many Corellians running around. Before Han can ask Chewie any questions about this man, the man strolls up to them, sticks out his hand and says, "Hello, I'm Beckett. I'm looking for a crew, and I hear you're looking for work. So why don't we go find somewhere private and discuss if we could help each other?" Han Solo knows he's wanted by just about everyone on Corellia, so it's a little bit suspicious that a Corellian man is standing here in front of him, offering him a job. Han says, "Listen here, Mr. Beckett. Before we go anywhere with you, I've got a few questions." Beckett says, "Let's hold questions for after the presentation. I'd like to introduce you to a member of my crew. This is Kira." Han thinks to himself, "No, it can't be," and turns around to see. Kira says, "Hello, Han. It's been a long time." Han's jaw drops to the floor. He asks Kira, "How could this be? How'd you get off Corellia?" And Beckett interrupts, "It looks like you two already know each other. Like I said, we'll save the questions for somewhere a little more private than a dirty cantina." Han nervously laughs and says, "Of course, lead the way." All caution and suspicion thrown out the window at the sight of Kira. Amazed at Han Solo's stupidity, Chewbacca thinks to himself, "How did I get tangled up with this man?" Beckett says, "We just have to go pick up the owner of the ship we're using, and then we'll be on our way." Beckett leads the crew to the gambling portion of the cantina. The moment they walk into the casino, they hear a man yell out from the sabacc table, "Hey Beckett, it's about time. I've already cleaned this room out, and everyone's afraid to play against me. I was getting bored." Beckett introduces Han and Chewie to Lando Calrissian, the owner of a nearby shipyard. Lando has agreed to provide a fast ship for a cut of the profit, and the whole crew head over to his shipyard to discuss the details of the job. Han Solo had always been a sucker for the ladies, but he never really believed in love, not until this moment. From the minute he saw the Millennium Falcon, he knew that this ship had to be his. Han Solo can feel it at his very core that he and this ship were destined to go on many adventures together. Han turns to find Lando staring at him. Lando says, "If you're done fantasizing about the ship, maybe we can get on board and learn about this job." Embarrassed, Han says yes, of course, and rushes over to the ramp, where Han sees Chewbacca and says, "Chewie, this ship's going to be mine." And Chewie growls, and Han says, "Okay, this ship's going to be ours." The crew boards the Falcon, and when everyone is comfortable, Beckett begins to explain the job. I'm assuming everyone knows the planet Kessel and what they produce there. The job's real simple to explain. We're gonna fly to Kessel, pick up a shipment, and bring it back to the Hutts, who are going to pay very handsomely for it. Chewbacca yells out, and Beckett responds, "I said it was easy to explain. I didn't say it was easy to do." The big payout is because the Empire is blocking every entrance to the Kessel system, and we'll have to either contend with them or go through the Maelstrom and deal with any monsters that lurk in there. For anyone who doesn't know, the Maelstrom is a large space cloud that houses some pretty disgusting creatures. The Kessel Run's always been long and dangerous, because you had to either go through the Maelstrom or contend with the pirates when you go around it. Now with the Empire involved, people consider it impossible. So who's with me? Who wants to do the impossible? Everyone in the room is dead quiet, knowing that Beckett is asking them to go on a suicide mission. Until Han Solo stands up and says, "I call the pilot seat."